Um, okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
start.
What about
Torrent
put
Torrent says that he can't make it today. Um, and yep. And also yeah, he can't make it today.
what about puts and Swifty?
Yeah.
And Binley, I'm sending you a private message.
Good afternoon.
After
Hey, puts.
Hey, puts.
Got a big audience today. ¿Qué hago aquí? What's going on here? Está proyecto de open source en inglés. I think I don't know if puts is on mute, but definitely we need to fix the web search, which I saw Mark you added something on about fixing that as well, right before the release is ready.
Yep. Yeah, that's the main blocker right now. Um, we don't know exactly why it broke. I don't think it's anything we did. So hopefully somebody else already figured it out for their own program and submitted a fix.
That would be very nice.
Yeah, I'm monitoring all their instruction set prompts, and they keep trying to modify them to fix one, the fact that there's a hole in them, but also they're trying to make the models perform it, and they're definitely doing some weird stuff in the instruction sets every about third day. The instruction
Right, are you
change.
talking about DuckDuckGo?
No. I'm talking about OpenAI's ChatGPT interface and the driving instruction set that you would feed off of.
Oh yeah, right. Well, that's not really related to the web search problem, I think.
Yeah, it's a issue with the DuckDuckGo library or something in the inner plumbing there. Something's gone wrong that used to work that broke. So the plan is after lunch to start digging in. If unless somebody's already fixed it, like Put said, and would love for the pull request to come in. I plan to work in the dev zone and try and figure it out. Anybody's welcome to join that wants to. Okay, cool, man. So if you want after lunch Eastern Standard Time, I'll be working on that. Hopefully, hopefully we can figure it out. Yeah, it's like the only blocker basically.
Maybe because since last week we started shipping dev builds to the Docker Hub. I mean, like the latest release image that is on Docker Hub is very old. It's version 047. So I added a step to the Docker CI test job, which will push the image if it passes all the tests. So anyone who wants to, well, if anyone now or in the future wants to stay on top of the developments and use the latest bleeding edge version of the application, you can just pull the latest dash dev tag from Docker Hub, and it will contain the latest working build from master.
I don't think we made much progress with the convergence project yet.
The what side? Oh, media.
Yeah, maybe on our end, on Evo Ninja side, we have been taking a look at potentially doing some Python prototypes, just because, most of the developments come out in Python first, and we've been taking a look at implementing Gaia benchmarks, which were released a while ago, to see how it performs against Gaia, the ones that don't require files specifically. So getting some research advanced in that front.
Cool. Actually, did they release the set of testing questions for Gaia as well?
I think not. They have the questions, but not the answers. I was just taking a look at them,
Okay.
obviously. But the validation has like 200 or something questions with the answers in the files.
All right. I mean, having that as a ready to use benchmark or something would be really cool.
Yeah, for now. Oops. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. So
Yeah, I was gonna mention that, for example, what we were trying to approach was like um essentially passing the things like the question and the answer received from the agent, and then automatically score that with like from 0 to 100 how accurate it was. So it's like a modular function in Python to do that with any agent to score it.
Nice. I don't think so. I did see the notification from that. It's not been merged yet, I think.
And when that happens,
While we're on there,
I'll
if
be able
anybody
to
has
I'll be able to do the Twitter post to announce it and everything. So let me know when that goes through.
Right.
I was gonna say
Uh,
that topic. If anybody in the community has gone through these pain points that we've for getting things started or whatever, feel free to make some of your own tutorials, and we can link to them. And just having more documentation would help in general. Any community based would also be welcome if they're pretty good, I would say.
taking down all the
Yeah,
unupdated.
we'll review it. So we can review it, and if it's accurate, at least someone's able to make a pull request to the documentation, just to help out with current stuff. You know what I mean? Don't see why that would preclude helping out like that. Just saying, if anybody out there wants to help out with some documentation, we would love the help to the community.
We had a decent testing party collaborating with members of the community.
That's a fair mention. Uh-huh. Yeah, a couple bugs came out of that. Some worse than others. So, yeah, I mean, it wasn't like a huge crowd, but it was productive and useful. So, nice.
I enjoyed it. Had a great time.
Just waiting on that input for the Twitter post, and that'll go up.
Maybe worth mentioning, recently we added on Evo Ninja the possibility of sending like free queries to the website. So a lot of people didn't want to add their OpenAI keys. So now you can try it out for free, like 5 prompts per day. If you haven't tried it
Great.
already.
Nice. Cool. Yeah, where is it? Do we have a building yet?
So we've broke ground. No, I'm kidding. I am in Pennsylvania. That's the only updated facility is I'll be working from a different time zone. Oh, I need to update my time zone. And this is a good point to remind everyone. Make sure you have a time zone in your little what is it, username thing? So that people want to bother you. Yep.
Yeah, I can share a link to the draft release. I don't know what the permissions on that link are. Like, I honestly think that it's limited to only people with permissions on the repo. So I'll post the link and let me know if you can access it.
I can access it.
Whoa, that's a surprise.
I have permissions on the repo, you know?
Yeah.
Me
So
either.
it's, I think it,
Okay. You can also just post a screenshot of the page, but of course that's less spectacular, you know.
We can also publish pre-releases. I don't know how to do that, or if that's something we're interested in. But that could also be a good move. Yeah.
It's a pretty good idea. Keep it in mind for next time. I mean, I'm not going to do that now. We're almost there, but
Also, these release notes are beautiful. I don't know who wrote this. Puts probably you.
me.
They look great.
Thanks.
Yeah, the short of it is they gave us code interpreter and said they set up a Python environment. They didn't quite make clear. This is the actual directions to ls into the proper directory to then treat the prompt line as an in-command Linux line to execute that list of programs. Many of these programs are being tapped by zero developers right now and can be tapped by anybody, whether AutoGPT or not, simply for GPT development. Highly advise looking over the list, doing your homework, and reading up on what all the programs are for if you're not apprised to them. And it makes stateful Jupyter notebooks by default. That's its intended function per its instruction set. So bear that in mind and do your homework on Jupyter notebooks if you're not familiar. And that'll allow you to compose much better applications and know what requests to use to pull from that open source library that they've provided. We already had one gentleman come in this morning, and within 1 minute, he sat down and wrote a program to pull a docx out to a txt file. Super handy. There's another one in there to go to PDF from HTML. So now somebody could build a whole HTML documentation and then transfer it into a PDF with that tool. Tons of really good tools. Long list. Do your homework. Well worth it. And Bentley was kind enough to include his custom GPTs, which is a simple removal of a lot of the overall behavioral blocks of the Linux system within that environment. So if you would like to follow the link into the dev docs there and find his link to his GPT, that might make it even easier for you guys.
I mean, this is good inspiration. Like there's an issue on the roadmap, and I'm not sure when we're gonna get to it, but it's basically build our own code interpreter by including either a persistent Python session or a Jupyter notebook implementation that the agent just has access to. Uh, and the better we can get that integration, the more effective the program will be, obviously. But knowing how OpenAI does it, that's nice.
Yes, it is.
Thanks.
You are very welcome, and I hope we all make good use of it because now a lot better tools can be made and more controlled functions as well. For instance, we found on there, if you look, there is a word bubble maker. But what is that doing? It's sorting the text down to the most popular words and least, which is how you build your data sets. So that's a major extraction tool for data sets nobody's even tapped yet, for one instance.
Maybe we can make this into a
Oh,
weekend
you'll
hackathon.
find things to break, man. If anybody can find anything, it's you, dude.
Also, here's another fun one we're working. They actually have Google text to speech.
Microsoft has a bounty program. Sorry, Mark, we're overlapping. Sorry, man. I'm just saying, Microsoft has a bounty program, and because Microsoft has one, and they're basically their puppets, right? So I would expect OpenAI to have maybe something you can make money off of too.
I've already looked at that. They have a 20,000 maximum if you find a bug. That's correct. You have to register and do the registration to get it.
Hey, I mean, if anybody can do it, it's Bentley.
But for another example here for the folks listening, there's also a Google text to speech module in there, and you can output an MP3 of the spoken voice for what you're inputting to download. That could be extremely useful if you know what you're doing and why you would want to do that. There's a lot of things that can be done there.
Maybe we can. I mean, this is just an idea. But last weekend we almost did a little hackathon to build a code language translator. Ended up not happening because of reasons. But
I've already done that on my GitHub puts. If you go look, I have a program called Natural Language Coder that runs a NLTK locally. It's built for Tkinter, so you have to have an ID E set up with NLTK and Tkinter. And if you pull it down and run it in your IDE, you'll get a nice clean little window with a plug and play. All you do is take your extensive prompt, and what the tool was originated for was I wanted to put in more than our 4096 limit in terms of context of what I was trying to say. So I needed to compress that prompt, and I also realized that the system is built on Python, and these GPTs naturally want to interpret things that way. So I also made it where it not only does an inline compression, but it recodes natural language using still natural language as a Pythonic language.
okay, I'm
So you
not
take
sure
a
how this
massive
is
prompt,
related,
put it.
and I would like to just finish my point.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Maybe this the more we know about this OpenAI code interpreter, the better we are probably equipped to build one ourselves, right? This seems like the perfect thing to build a little weekend hackathon around. Figure out how to build effective prompts to get your LLM to use these tools effectively, and then figure out a good UX flow that has the user able to benefit from that most. So I'm not sure if we need to plan this ahead a lot. Obviously, not everybody is available every weekend, but this is, I think we can put this on the shelf and do it sometime.
Yeah, we'll add to the list.
Yeah. Also, I mean, Mystic, I don't like to shut you down like that, but this meeting is gonna run forever if you can, if we're gonna discuss all of your projects, because I'm sure you have 1,000.
Oh, no, I was just trying to say that I had the solution there to implement, and it's MIT, so you can just take it off there and work off it. That's all I was giving it to you, so you'd know. But yeah, absolutely, dude. I don't want to slow us down. Let's keep going.
And I'll take a look because it did sound interesting, honestly.
Sure.
All right, let's keep it rolling. We AutoGPT is a tool to do things.
It's also a company.
Yes.
And a project. And the community.
And an agent.
Yeah.
We got some name.
Like the thing that firstly became known as AutoGPT is a tool to do things. It's an autonomous agent that will take any task you give it, try to break it down, try to figure out how to do it, and then execute it. Of course, the approach we had slash have has its limitations, but the idea really sparked a lot of inspiration and development everywhere, basically. And now, this community grew around it, and now there's also a company with the same name working to kind of build out that vision. So
Yeah, and that
I hope
company
that
was
answers your question.
yeah, and to give context, there's another question in chat of are speakers just group of enthusiasts or part of the company? So I think it's important to give a little bit of a breakdown of who the company is. The company is basically made up of all the former maintainers of the project who are putting their nights and weekends in and now can do a little bit more. Right? Craig, myself, Rainier, Hunter, all of us were working on AutoGPT in some capacity before, right? So now we just get paid to do this.
Yeah.
So the question of are we just a group of enthusiasts or part of the company? I think the answer is both. There are us who are enthusiasts, and then there's also people like Mystic Marks, Paul AI, and Zed, and media who don't work for us. But I have worked with a lot of them for a long time doing this, even before I got paid. Right. So
Yeah.
hopefully
Just-
everybody works for us in the future,
Yeah.
But
I mean, if we get the chance to expand and hire more of the community, we'll be sure to do that. But of course, the first step of being a company is becoming a viable company, and with that, you have to be really careful here with your resources. So
Yep.
that's kind of why it's such a small team right now. Like it's just a team of 5 right now, out of a community of 50,000. So, but like before all of that company stuff even started, Nick and let me see, Nick, Hull, media, myself, we've been working on this since like April or May.
Yeah.
For like let's say 5-6 months before there was even talks of a company.
So yeah, I hope that provides.
Also,
Yeah,
it might be important to mention that like it's still also early days and that it's not even 2024 yet. So like stay tuned as well, I would say probably because things are probably gonna shape up and change going forward. I would expect also in the next year.
Looking forward to it. We're all aggressively watching you type.
No pressure.
Do you have a drum roll?
Can you?
I found that with social media plugins, AutoGPT can excel at interacting as a person would within different social media settings.
Where to start?
There's a lot.
I think the two most important limitations, like one is the models that we rely on, because currently the application is only really built to use the OpenAI models, which means, well, it's harder to use open source models and variations of those and test with them. And the prompts are also designed for GPT models. I would say that's the limitation. And also, the models themselves have their own limitations, as in their maximum capacity of understanding complex prompts and tasks. Like the more stuff you chuck in a prompt and the more complex every piece of that prompt is, the higher the chance it will lose some of that understanding. And if you just try to use your agent in a real world application, you'll see that real soon. The trick to that is fixing another another limitation of the application, which is the strategy we use for prompting. Because right now, it just one shots every cycle. So basically, it puts all of the information into one prompt and has the agent decide the next step and do some reasoning, etc. Instead of breaking it down into multiple steps. And breaking it down into multiple steps per cycle, that's probably also the solution. So just reducing the scope of every single prompt, of every single decision, and reducing the complexity of your prompts, that's probably going to help a lot. So instead of all of the information to one action, you could do all of the information to, okay, what do you think needs to happen? And then, oh, does that need breaking down or not? Okay, what command can we use to fix that? And then once that's been executed, you can do an evaluation, like, okay, did that accomplish the intent that was specified like 2 steps earlier? And that also gives you a lot more entry points where you could use to build a feedback loop instead of basically we need a better feedback loop. That would be a good summary.
Courtesy of Torin.
I should have brought mine to PA. Then we could all wear it.
Also got a bunch of really awesome stickers from him.
Yeah. Aren't they cool?
I put one on my car.
Heck yeah. Scott, you're in Baltimore, right?
Virginia,
Virginia.
outside
Okay,
of
cool.
Richmond.
Okay, cool. Probably DM you later.
I will be up your way around Christmas time.
Sweet. Also, I guess that's another note. We regularly do impromptu community meetups. Puts ran the last round of them, I think, all across the U.S. If you're interested in doing a community meetup, reach out to, I guess, Scott, probably. Is that the right person? And we'll see if we can get one
Yeah.
organized.
Yeah, we still have a link for a link to a form for that. Maybe we can just give that another whirl.
You have a meetup account?
A meetup form, as in to have inventory who would be interested to have meetups.
Well, I'm just
And
saying
where?
having a meetup account on meetup.com could help facilitate that too. I'm asking if we have an official AutoGPT one.
Yeah, I'll be looking into that as well. Actually, let me
That's actually
commit
not a
to
bad idea. I
organizing a
could definitely
meetup in my
organize
hometown.
one here in the Triangle. Sorry, spoke over you.
I'm gonna commit right now to organizing a meetup in my hometown sometime in the next, 4 weeks.
I will commit. My New Year resolution will be to have one in my area too. The Triangle area. There's a lot of big tech stuff here, so it could be cool. I actually talked about AutoGPT at IBM last week. When they asked me what do I do, I was like, I'm working with AI and AutoGPT, and half of them knew it, half of them didn't. So I gave like a quick rundown of kind of like what we talked about earlier today.
You were talking with IBM. Do you work there?
No, they were running. I actually found it on Meetup.com. That's why I'm saying Meetup.com is not a bad idea. Just saying. But I went to their place for a workshop, and was with Watson X. So I'm kind of like with some third party vendor or whatever. Anyway, so there's a bunch of people in the industry and stuff, and so I started asking them, well, how would that work with AutoGPT if I wanted to throw that in the mix? And the guy did. I could tell he knew what AutoGPT was, sort of, but not really. And so, yeah. Anyways, so it prompted a lot of good discussion around agency and things like that.
Cool. I used to work for a subsidy of IBM and was working with the Watson X team on getting some of us access to it before I came to join the AutoGPT team.
Oh, that's cool. Small world.
Yeah. I think a lot of what functions exist to do was based off what we did with them. Like before, so we were designed before functions existed, right? Just raw LLMs. I think a lot of the driving factors behind functions, I won't say it's only us, but a lot of what we did show that there is promise behind that premise. So yes, what we do is similar, but I would say what they did is similar to what we do.
Yeah, I would agree with that. That they probably saw the idea and just ran with it as well with massive resources.
Yeah.
There is a nickname for that.
Yeah, there is.
Realism.
There you go. I put an image in chat for you. That's what it's called.
Is that AI generated? That is insane.
Yeah, he's able somehow he's able to get it to output legible text. Like,
Yeah, I'm gonna end up pipelining them into print-on-demand services as well.
Heck yeah. Oh. Will AutoGPT enable image generation? Media. Are you trying to give me a conniption?
I mean, it has been implemented.
Yeah, but isn't it broken right now?
Let me check.
I thought Hugging Face changed their API. Also, if we don't support Dolly 3 for that, we totally should.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's we probably get we probably got to try this because I haven't tried using this functionality anytime recent. But it has implementations for Hugging Face, for Dolly, for Stable Diffusion. And depending on which APIs you have configured, it will use either of them or let you choose.
Cool.
Nice.
Cool. In the meantime, I'm gonna drop so I can go get food before the
Same.
engine foundation meeting. Puts, are you gonna be able to make that?
That's in 45 minutes, right?
Approximately, yeah.
Yeah, I'll make it.
God bless. Thank you. Cool.
All right, see you there.
See you there.
Good meeting.
Thank you, everyone.
Excellent. Next week.